Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Niner Sickness Podcast. We have a great guest today. We have what you call a true super fan of his team. And of course, we are facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Sunday. Tom Brady is coming back to the Bay Area to play against his youth team that he grew up liking, Joe Montana. We're going to talk about that. Great guest. A lot of people know who this guest is. A lot of you don't. But we're definitely, by the end of this podcast, you will get to know who he is. I will acknowledge each and every one of you that are in here right after this. Let's get ready. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We have a full panel tonight. Welcome. Before we get started, I'd like to say, please wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button for your boy Niner Sickness. How's everybody doing? Eric, how you doing, Eric? Welcome to the channel. We got Don in the house. What's up? Luis Moreno is already showing up. What's up, Kimberly? How are you doing, Kimberly? Welcome, Kimberly. We got always faithful 24/7 in the house. We got David McNeil in the house. What's up, David? Welcome. Oh, man, we have a great show today. I have a great honor, a guest. It is an honor to have this gentleman on my show. It is an honor to call him a friend. Yes, he is a fan of the Buccaneers, but he is not just a fan. He is a super fan. And we're going to find out today why he's a super fan. So with no further ado, let me go ahead and bring this gentleman in. He goes by the name of Big Nasty. What's up, Big Nasty?
What's up, my brother? It's good to see you. You look great. You're having a great season, and we're looking forward to the matchup, man. Should be a good time.
I'm telling you, man, I'm super excited, brother. I'm super excited for this matchup. You guys came close. I thought for a second the Saints had you guys. And I love your video that you posted to your fan base, because not just your fan base, a lot of fan base do it. They give up. They assume that the game's over. And people should realize, out of all teams, when you have Tom Brady at quarterback, don't consider it over until the clock hits zero. So let the Niner fan base know what your fan base did and what they missed out on real quick.
Well, I wouldn't say it was the entire fan base, but this goes across the NFL. Let's be honest. I've been talking about jump ship chumps is my slogan that I came up one game where I was livid after I saw the place empty out, and we were like in the fourth quarter, just started, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's not so much about, there's a couple ways I look at it in my views. I know some people have families to get home to and stuff like that. I get that. No, I'm talking about the ones that don't realize when that place empties out that the players notice it. And I think that from what I have always come from, and I'm old school, guys, you're talking about Big Nasty's been around 35 years. And this is my final Go Well tour as far as before I retire the persona. I'll be a Buck fan till the day I die. I'll be still attending games, but the personas will be going away. But my point being is it's the disrespect that you leave the team. And I don't care if they're 0-17. Those guys are out there fighting their hearts out. And I know we all pay our good money to go to the games and everybody has their all rights. But there's also a thing where you're telling me you're a season ticket holder of any team that you love and you actually love that team. Well, let's put it this way. If you love your team so much, why would you turn your back on them and walk up the stairs and out the stadium with time to play? I don't care if you're getting your butts handed to them or not. They're giving their all. And I've always found that it was disrespectful, and that's just my views of it. That's why I hate to see people walking out the aisles because, and don't get me wrong, I'll be honest with you. I feel the same thing you all do when you see bad play. We all hate ugly football is what I call it. When you get to ugly football, and it's almost like preseason. Just can't stand to watch it. It's like, oh, it's driving me nuts. And especially when you're seeing the same thing over and over and over with the same result, and you're not getting those winning ways. But the reason why I went on that night on Monday night is because I saw the aisles and I'm like 20-yard line Bucks bench, and people were leaving the aisles, and I'm like, wow, I think there was like 8 minutes or 7 minutes left, and we're down 16-3. I mean, come on. If you watched NFL football, anything can happen. That's what makes everybody love the sport. So I was wasn't upset because I was already upset because we were playing terrible myself. So I'm sitting there pouting like a bump on the log. I turn over, look at my wife, and she goes, a lot of time left. And I was like, at first, I'm like, the way we've been playing for the first, 3 quarters, I thought, ain't a chance we're coming back, but I'm standing there watching that game, and I went on to, check out the video. I ain't hiding from nothing, and I called everybody out. I've told them in the past when, we weren't very good and people would leave early. I mean, I just can't. It just fathoms me. You spend that much money to go to a game. Why would you leave it? There's so much more to see. I mean, if you're really, really like myself, especially this last season, I'm taking in everything. I'm looking at the sky. I'm looking at the birds. I'm looking at the scoreboards. I'm looking at everything. And it's just there's always something cool to see in an NFL football game, whether it's Brady at your quarterback or Jimmy G. And, God rest, hey, Jimmy G, get better, man. I'm actually a fan of you, man. I was hoping we'd get to play you. That would have been a great showdown. A little worried about rookie quarterbacks. I'm superstitious. We always have a difficult time with rookie quarterbacks. And your kids did pretty good last week. But all in all, that's pretty much what the video's about. Was pretty much just getting out there. Don't be a jump ship chump. And I was laughing at everybody that left. And, I got a lot of friends that actually called me the next week. They were, I can't believe you called me out. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I didn't have a clue what they were talking
if the
about.
Shoe fits.
But they're the ones that left. It was kind of funny. So it was a chuckle to me. We started laughing. And, it's never to hurt anybody. It doesn't mean you're a bigger fan than the other. It's just there's more views than just your own views. Think of the players on the field that you so-called love and that you go out every week and you wear your colors every week, and then you just turn your back on them and walking out the door. That's what I don't like. And, and they notice it. Mike Evans in his last interview said the same thing. He goes, man, about 7 minutes left. The people that did stay were so happy to give you a win. That's what family's about. He's happy to give us a win, right? And the ones that left early, they got to listen to it on the radio. So Mean Gene's not bad to listen to either.
Yeah, that's right. And real quick, just for the fan base that are watching, they're watching my guest Keith, aka Big Nasty. Now he's out of uniform. He's not wearing his makeup. So a lot of you may not recognize him without his makeup, but I'm going to go ahead and put his lovely picture on the screen there for you guys to look at. This is what he looks like with his makeup. So maybe you guys will recognize him here in the picture with his makeup on. Great guy. The fan base of Tampa Bay love him. All the fan base. I see him in his videos at every stadium, visiting all the stadiums that he goes to, and I see you meet all the fan bases out there. They're super fans. I don't like to use the word mascot, but they're super fan, I should say. And I see you take pictures, and people recognize you. And if I'm not mistaken, Keith, you're going into what people call the Hall of Fame for fans, right? For super fans, there's such a thing as a Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
well, not that I'm going in. I mean, to give you an idea, guys, hey, you see that persona and everything, that didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like, hey, 35 years ago, I thought, hey, let's paint up and go get on TV. That was not the intent whatsoever. Okay. Believe me, if I could start all over from 35 years ago, the commitment it takes to be Big Nasty on every game day is a lot. Believe me. But I'm one of those things where once you start something, you finish it. You don't quit nothing. And just to give you an idea, the Hall of Fame thing that you're talking about is a pretty prestigious thing. There's only actually two, actually three what I would call fans out there that have actually received this honor. And I'm actually not a one, but a two-time Pro Football Hall of Famer as far as super fan for the Bucks. The first year was Visa came out way before Ford, and it was back in 2001, and that's when they didn't even have the huge inductions that you see now. Everything was done at the front doorstep entrance of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2001, and boy, has it changed. Now it's Walt Disney World, man. It's something pretty special. But fast forward to COVID year 2020, the Ford came out and has been doing it consistently. FordHallOfFans.com. You're more than welcome to check out it for next year. Go ahead and submit. It's a huge honor to everyone out there. When I first started this, it wasn't to seek, being on TV. It wasn't to seek, uh, you know, accolades. It was more like just going out and having a good time. I mean, the way it all started anyway was my brother broke up with his girlfriend, and he was down in the dumps. So I said, dude, let's paint our faces and go to the game, right? And it
Oh
was the
wow.
battle. Yeah, it was the Battle of the Pigs is when it first started. And the Battle of the Pigs, if you guys don't know, was the battle of the Packers and the Bucks because we were the two worst teams in the NFL, right? That was the first game me and my brother painted up. And Packer fans travel well because it's cold up there and they want to come down to Florida. So there was always, I always say, probably 60% opposing team fans back then opposed to 40, and that's on a good day. Uh, so we went, and he was down on the dumps, and we had a blast. I mean, we must have took a million pictures that day. I'll never forget it. And you got to remember, not pictures on phones or pictures with these, the zipper can't,
Yep.
funny,
Yep.
you got
I
to get
remember
into
those
the
days.
and and that's how it started. Again, it didn't turn into this. Now, don't get me wrong. I kind of turned the switch completely when I got inducted in the hall the first time because now you have some kind of a prestige and an honor that you have to uphold, just like the players do, right? And you're not there just because you paint your face, you stick your tongue out, you love your team. Obviously, loyal to your team is the biggest thing, right? That's what we all do. This every one of you love your football team. There's nothing. That's one thing every one of you guys on this podcast and myself have in common. We love our NFL football teams.
Yes, we do.
So, and that's how it starts. It's passion, right? So I ended up getting inducted in 2001, and I met actually three. Um, I call my mentors, man, because they really told me what it was to be, back then, Hall of Fame, whatever you want to call it. But I call it more of a Hall of Fame person opposed to being a Hall of Fame fan. And what
Okay.
I mean by that, you guys may or may not know Boss Hoggett, Mikey T. If you don't know who that is, that's the Washington Redskin guys that used to dress in dresses and hog-nosed snouts. Believe it or not, those guys are amazing. A lot of them are retired military. Mikey T is, believe it or not, a nuclear engineer. He's retired. But he sat me down and he said, hey, now that you got this 15 minutes of fame in Tampa, you got to do something down in your community and do something charitable. Had no clue. And, after years and years of thought process and, watching people do good things, we created two great programs, and I got to give the Boss Hog that all the credit for that. Because there's a lot of different things towards being a super fan. It isn't just throwing on the makeup. It's commitment. It's time. It's time away from your family, believe it or not. You would think, oh, your family's enjoying it. No, when you're in character and you're rolling around, I'm not drinking beers. I'm not doing none of that. It's more like, hey, I want to make the next person's game day experience memorable, whether it's an opposing fan or whether it's a Buccaneer fan. Obviously, I want Buck fans for life. So
Of
just like
course.
you guys want Niner fans for life. But Boss Hog Ed taught me the charitable side. So I came up kind of piggyback what he told me to do. He used to have it called, what did he call it? Uh, Hoggett for a day. And what it was is they auctioned off a day experience with them, a game day experience at these children auctions.
Oh, wow.
Live, and we've been doing that now for over 35 years. And that's almost every game. Some games, it depends on the charity. I remember, you get one or two charities to start, because they didn't know who that Big Nasty was at that time. And then after more and more, I would donate my 2 tickets. I would get him a jersey. I call it a Nasty Crew jersey. You probably see the Rhino hat. We used to do the Rhino hat. Early on, and it's fantastic because you'll see that Rhino hat, maybe not that particular style, but the one. I mean, how many people have Rhino hats?
Yep.
So, but you'll see them at different stadiums and kids wearing them, and it's just awesome to see, because that means they took part in something charitable, which is great when you're giving back to all of us. And let's face it, everybody needs a helping hand once in a while, you know. Uh, and then I got to tell you, I ended up talking to Big Dog. I don't know if you guys remember Big Dog. This is another old timer. He was huge. He was 550 pounds. Cleveland Browns Big Dog. They actually made bench seats in the dog pound because he was so big. But the real reason is he's the fan that locked himself to the stadium and kept the Cleveland Browns name in Cleveland, because they had moved to the Ravens. Remember
Correct.
that?
To Baltimore, yeah.
So, you got to think there's a lot of people, special people that people forget, that have done some great things for their teams. And then, he taught me the business side of it. Obviously, he said, you're going to be doing appearances. And I remember like it was years ago. There's a difference of an appearance when you're doing a charity event. That is absolutely free. Period. You do that out of your heart because you're going to get trifold from it back. There's nothing like giving back. And then there's the birthday party for little Johnny, right? That's the kind of thing where, okay, there's a business aspect or there's a commercial situation. That's a business aspect. Or, somebody wants you to sponsor their item. That's a business. Big Dog taught me the business side of the business. And because otherwise, and that can be kind of crazy too. It's almost like endorsements, like the players get, right? And then obviously I'll save number 3, Barrow Man from Denver Broncos. Barrow Man, if you guys don't remember him, they literally have a statue of Barrow Man, as far as over there in Mile High. This is a gentleman. All of us done silly things, right? He lost a bet, and he said, "Hey, you'll wear a barrel with suspenders on it, with no clothes on, with boots on, and go to that winter game." And he actually held up to the bargain and did it. And that's how his thing started.
Wow.
And yeah, it's crazy how things. And then you turn those kind of silly things into good, right? And
Absolutely.
he taught me. I remember sitting in his little semi in Canton. We were sitting in his little truck, and we were just trying to get away from everybody because it was getting nuts. And we just talked about family. Never forget your family, because it's not just a super fan. It's the family behind that keeps you grounded, that keeps you going, that makes
Amen
you
to
see
that.
things that
Yep.
you may not see. you know. And to be honest with you, it's so crazy now. That's one of the reasons why I'm retiring this year. We've had a long talk. Plus, it's taken its toll on me. Not so much that it's not fun and not appreciative. I love the fans. I'll still be going to games. It's just, guys, it does. As you
I
get
can
older,
imagine, brother.
it gets tough. I mean, especially when it's 120 degrees on that field, and you're the one holding all the garb and the thing. And it may sound like I'm being a wimp, but after 35 years, I guess I can be a wimp. But that's just my thing. If you're looking to be a super fan, and that's the first thing. If you're looking to be a super fan, you're already making a mistake. You don't look to be a super fan. You let it evolve into being a super
Oh,
fan.
I like
And
that. I like
by
that.
doing and what evolution comes in is by what you do for people. It's about making a kind gesture, not just taking pictures, maybe hugging somebody that needed a hug one day at the game. I'm a big with handicap. That's how it really started with the Angelus with Charlie Daniels, God rest his soul. They used to sit in my section, and every single game when we first started, I had Tootsie Rolls, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
I would
Okay.
I would do I would do the Tootsie Rolls to all the the kids, because some of them are paraplegic. I mean, just makes you really think. You wake up with your bones aching and you're sore, and then you see kids with huge smiles on their face and they're wheelchair bound. Kind of puts your mind in the right frame, if that makes sense, about what you are really here to be. I believe I wasn't here to be a super fan. I was on this earth to be a good person and to help any way I can. And yes, I have been blessed. Let me say that again. I have been blessed, my friend. You think of all the things since I was 8, meeting these players, and then I can remember meeting Bad Buck as a child. He was like an unofficial mascot, looked like a orange Yosemite Sam, right? And 8 years old kid, in little league football, we're in the nosebleeds, top south end zone in the old sombrero. You can't see the damn players. You kidding? But and the jumbotron wasn't no color to the jumbotron. It was like a yellow color. There wasn't much to it at all back then. And but I could tell you, I watched him the entire thing, and became a big fan of watching him and watching what he did, and hugging kids and making their day, and just being silly and having fun and putting smiles on their faces. And who would ever believe, you fast forward all these years from 8 to now, here I am 55, and I'm like, holy crap, look at me now, I'm doing the same thing. And I do love it. The Buccaneers organization has acknowledged me and been gracious enough to allow me to do it. And I do say that, to allow me to do it, because I'm not the drunken idiot at the game. I'll just tell you that. Hey, you're all great if you want to go drink at the game. That's fine. I'm not saying I have beer, because believe me, after this year, I'm going to have 2 beers, flip flops, and a visor. I'm going to be enjoying the games just like the rest of you. But when you got to think, when you're, I don't know how you want to call it, Hall
You
of Fame
represent.
fans.
You're representing.
Yeah, you got to go. You don't understand. You have kids that are looking at you, and you don't even know they're looking at you. You have kids that are coming up to take pictures. I mean, guys, the crazy thing about now, when you put 35 years in, you don't just get the pictures of 35 years ago. You get the pictures of generations now.
Yes,
So
sir.
now you see generations of fans. You see, wow, this was me when I was a little kid. Can you take a picture with my kid now? It's like, it's just amazing how much I get that now. And I love it. It makes me feel like I must have did something pretty good over these last 35 years, as Big Nasty, as Keith Kunzik, whatever you want to call it. But don't go trying to be a TV hound. Just go and have fun. FUN. If it ain't fun, don't do it. It ain't worth it. Because when you're having fun, everything else just comes easy, right?
Exactly. And that's the whole most important thing. I wanted to kind of just elaborate a little bit on what you said earlier about working with handicap. That really touches me, because for those, a lot of people know this, a lot of people don't. But I'm a disabled vet, retired. But I was paralyzed from my waist down for 10 years.
Wow.
I was wheelchair bound. I was told that I would never walk again, and for 10 years I couldn't do anything. I was wheelchair bound, and perspective does change because uh, places that I used to go to, I had to go back to that same place that I've been to multiple times, and now I have to ask my wife, is it wheelchair accessible? Can I get there? And before it's like because I can just walk, I whether there's stairs or not, we take it for granted. We just go up the stairs and we don't even think about it. A lot of these places that I've been to multiple times, I had to realize now, is it accessible? And by the grace of God, I am walking again. I am no longer in a wheelchair. I'm doing everything that I used to do now. I still have the chronic pains and all that, but I count my blessings. So when you mentioned the handicap, that's kind of it touched me because that's kind of where I like to work with as well. I love to help the handicapped, the disabled, and I love to give back to the community, not in the scale as you, of course, because you put in more in what you do, and I'm very. That's one thing that really attracted me to you, to your persona, your personality was not the. I know a lot of people look at the fame and people, people recognizing me, and and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be recognized. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be looked at as something, but I've always been taught do the things behind the screen, behind the camera, in a sense. Like, do it from your heart. Don't do it because people are watching. Don't do it because you're going to get something out of it. Just do it because you want to see this person next to you smile. If they smile, that's worth everything, all the efforts, at least for me. And I'm pretty sure that's with you. And so when I see your attitude and your happiness and taking pictures with other fan bases, and you travel, it's not like you just go to your home games. If I'm not mistaken, didn't you just go to where did the Bucks play overseas this year?
Germany.
Germany, and I'm pretty sure you and your family you went to Germany, right, to watch the game.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It's funny. Like we were talking off air, and first and foremost, thank you for your service and the ultimate sacrifice. And that doesn't just go for you, but for all armed
Thank
services
you.
and for first responders out there. I mean, that's
Yes,
another thing we always take
yes,
it for granted of. The bottom line is, if it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't be doing what we're doing right now. So, one of the things that you had said off air before we get into the Germany, you had mentioned, these super fans think, hey, the fame, all this stuff. Guys, the fame doesn't pay the bills.
come on now, preach it, brother,
You
tell them.
still got to put on your shoes, your working pants, and go to work every single day. And kind of like what I said in the video in the Jump Ship Chump, all the people that wanted to get out of traffic and get home early so they get up. Hey, I worked a 14-hour day on Tuesday morning. So the whole idea is, guys, just because you see people on TV doesn't mean they're mega rich and everything gets handed to them. No, it's again, you make the sacrifice, and you're probably thinking, well, why the heck would you want to make the sacrifice to do all this? That's so much work. 35 years. Are you crazy? Well, I wasn't looking at it as work because I told you it early on,
That's right.
fun. F
That's
U
right.
N, right? We and you see a lot in common. We love putting smiles on these people's faces. It's the best thing in the world. Just by watching your podcast and watching the people that are on it, staying on it, watching it, they obviously love you. You got a good thing going on, and you're getting a great message out there. Plus, they love their Niners. But going to the Germany thing, that was a trip of a lifetime for me. You got to figure I'm 55. What's it going to be like when I'm 10 years down the road? I'm still working. I got blessed enough to get sponsored, my trip sponsored to go to Germany because let's face it, it's not cheap to go to Germany, guys. But it was literally the best. And I'm going to tell you this, and I live in the great United States of America, but we can learn from some things from Germany, believe it or not, just from that football atmosphere that I experienced in Germany. It is second to none, guys, to none. It was, and the crazy thing about it, listen to this. People coming down with 3 pitchers. They got these plastic pitchers of beer, triple, six, in 2 hands, right? They're walking down. You think, oh my God, all that alcohol they're drinking. Dig this, $3 beers, $5 sausages, right? Tell me where you can get a $3 beer and a $5 sausage, number one,
Not
right?
here.
Number two, I'm thinking, oh man, this is going to be a nightmare. People are going to be smashed. They're going to be mean. There's going to be fights. You're thinking the end of the world, and it was the total direct opposite. You had Seattle fan, Buck fans, and Germany. I could tell you, the people from Germany were so awesome. They don't even speak a lick of English, but they could sing a John Denver song, boy, to a T.
That's funny.
And let me, and I was like, I didn't even hardly remember all the words again. And I said, oh yeah, I remember that. And to literally, it wasn't like everybody just singing out loud. It was like arm in arm, and everybody swaying like it was
Wow.
some kind of. And then the crazy thing about it, the game's over. Buck fans, Seattle fans, and all the Germany people there. We didn't leave the stadium. The party never ended until an hour after it, meaning like the party was still going, the singing was still going, and they were just so. Oh man, it was just. I tell you what, it made me feel like, wow, America, we need to wake up, and we shouldn't be fighting in the stands. We should be enjoying each other because we all put our pants on the same dang way, right? So, and we all love the game and hear these people. I'll tell you, I got to talk to a lot of people that did speak broken English, I guess you could say, and they were so happy because of the COVID thing. They're really just now releasing people to do things over there,
Oh, wow.
and it was huge. And let me tell you something. It was a trip of a lifetime. I will never forget it. My wife loved it. We went with some friends of ours, and there's a big attorney, Fran Hosh, which is, I say attorney, but she's more like a humanitarian, like a Tony Dungy type,
Okay.
that always back. And she ended up sponsor my trip. But you wonder, like, why did they sponsor your trip? Well, how about all the food drives you do for people that she puts on every year? That you work all day, that you go over there to make sure you can help support it and bring people to the cause and help it out, right? Those are the things that people don't see is what you do, not just on game day, but what you do during the week, where you're given, whether it's making an appearance here or making an appearance there for charity, or better yet, how about delivering groceries to an elderly person that may need food that they can't get out and get? I don't care what it is. Everybody could do something good. And I'm telling you, over the years, I look back and I think of how many things I was blessed with all the way back when I was 8 and I met the Leroy Selmans and the Doug Williamses, of the world, the Mark Cottneys, and how they were teaching me then. And now I look back because, I wasn't the most gifted kid in football. I was a fat kid, right? But, I did well in football. I actually took my roots out to California, guys. I played for Bakersfield College, Renegades, down in Bakersfield. They lied to me, but I went out there. What I mean by they lied to me, I was expecting Florida beaches. All I saw was oil wells. But yeah,
Oh,
but I'll tell
wow.
you what, one of the best experiences of my life playing college football for them guys. I mean, that was some good stuff. I got to travel the coast of California and mostly Southern Cal, but got a lot of great friends, a lot of Canadian friends because guys, Bakersfield College and JUCO, that's like farm leagues for the NFL. So I learned to be a man real quick. Here I was a 18-year-old boy, and I'm playing against men with beards and more muscles on their face than I have on my body. So it was like, what the heck? But we had a lot of fun. I'm a big Cali fan. Um, I'm really disappointed I couldn't make the trip for this because you guys are on my bucket list. I'm not going to make it as big nasty, but I will definitely make it out to San Fran uh, before my end of time, I guess you could say, because you guys are still on my bucket list and I haven't been there yet.
Well, if you ever make it down this way, brother, my home is always open to you and your family. You're an amazing individual. I'm glad you have fun in Germany. And you're right. We're going to get into the meats and potatoes. I know you have to go. I know you're a very important individual, and I got to respect your time. Um, People don't realize that they hear about Germany, they hear about all these other countries, and they think sometimes the worst of it. We have it great here in America. In a sense, we do, but sometimes I think other countries are better than America because, like you said, here we're fighting and we're hurting people. Over there, everybody's locking arms and loving one another and truly not allowing beer to make things worse, but to make things better in a sense where they're happier and just enjoying. And this is what a lot of people that don't travel to Germany or other countries miss out on. So I'm glad you experienced that. I'm glad that you were able to go in your family. Real quick, before we talk about our teams, I saw a video or a picture of you actually having lunch or breakfast with the owners of Tampa Bay. Please tell me a
Yeah,
little bit about that.
that, believe it or not, that was in Germany, guys. We met some very good German folk at a restaurant. Believe it or not, we just got done with a sightseeing tour, and I said, and it was a pizza place, like they call it pizza bars over there. And we went in, and it was just really nicely laid out, almost like you were in the Amazon, rainforest kind of thing. It was beautiful. And we met this young couple, and we were talking about it. And I said, "Hey, man, where's a good Italian place? We want to go eat." And I believe this was like the night before the game. And so he ended up getting us hooked up because we couldn't get reservations till like 11 o'clock at night. So he ended up getting us at 8. So we ended up going, and little did I know, I have a very close friend, and I call him friend Brian Ford, which is the COO of the Bucks. Uh, I don't look at him as the COO of the Bucks. I look at him as a brother. This guy's just he doesn't just do it for Big Nasty. He does it for all the fans, the
That's
Bucks
awesome.
organization. He's one of those. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. He's amazing. But getting back to the story, we didn't actually eat dinner with them. We were eating dinner near them, and I had no clue, where. I had an idea that they were there from Brian, but I thought they already ate earlier. And then we were just sitting there, and when they came out, uh, Joel and the rest of the family. It was a really, really special. He goes, "Hey, he goes, mind we get a picture with you, Big Nasty?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I want a picture with you guys."
Yeah,
So,
that's
and
awesome.
it was really neat to, here I am out of makeup for God's sakes, and to be acknowledged, and that goes by over time, right? People don't know you if you're just a one hit wonder. But just to be acknowledged by them. I can remember when I got in the hall in 2020, and we're at seeing. We went the following year because COVID, so I got to see 2 inductions, and that's when, I don't know if you guys remember, John Lynch got inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and the Glazers actually came over to me where I was sitting and told me congratulations on the Hall of Fame. Um, and it's pretty neat when you got the COO of the Buccaneers taking a picture of your bronze plaque in Pro Football Hall of Fame with Big Nasty on it and send it to you on your phone. That's the things I'll never forget. The special moments where people went the extra mile, because that's what I believe you do. You do the extra mile, and it just comes back trifold. But yeah, special
Absolutely.
moment. The Glazier family are very special. But you got to remember, I've been around through the Culver House days, man. So I've seen a lot of different ownerships. Shoot, I used to date Culver House's secretary back in the day.
Oh wow! Look
That is
at
no
you, big
lie. That
nasty.
yeah, hey guys, I'm telling you right now, that relationship did not last long. As soon as she saw me at that game with my face paint on, that relationship went backwards real quick.
I imagine, Rick. One of my viewers wanted to know what college you played for.
It was Bakersfield College in Bakersfield, California. It was a JUCO out there. They play like Ventura, Santa Monica. Trying to think some of the Moorhead, Santa Barbara, Glendale. That was another one. They're mostly
Glendale.
Southern Cal football. Taft. I don't know if you remember Taft.
Tap. Yeah.
If you there's a couple movies out there with Bakersfield and Taft that they actually made. It's pretty deep. They used to call it. They used to call their bowl. Oh yeah, the potato bowl. I don't know if they still call it the potato bowl, but
That's
but
awesome.
it was very like a prestigious bowl. I mean,
Really?
it was a great stadium. I think it was a double decker. Um, yeah, it's funny. My buddy Chris Johnstone that played for the CFL. He was our running back. Me and him had just recently touched base on Facebook, and it was just neat to see our old pictures of playing together.
Memories,
That's when
huh?
I was fit and I looked good.
We all look good. You know what? I noticed you're 55. You're the same age as my wife, and you're 3 years older than me. So I'm right behind you at 52, bud. So you're not too far. So I feel you when you say 35 is a lot of years and you're ready to retire. And I'm not even doing the things that you're doing. So I can only imagine. So now let's move forward a little bit. Let's go towards the end. We're facing you guys this Sunday. Tom Brady, that grew up as a Niner fan, loving the Niner. Joe Montana coming back to the Bay with Tampa. Uh, what are you looking forward to this game, and what do you think about our young kid? Our Garoppolo went out, as you heard. He got injured. This kid Brock Purdy came in, seven string Mr. Irrelevant. The way I titled it, some of my other shows is it's going to be the sixth round quarterback versus a seventh round quarterback in this
Yeah,
game.
very good.
You know,
That's really good. The thing that I noticed, do we get a lot of Niner football unless it's like on prime time? We don't, right? We're different coasts.
correct.
But I will tell you this: your Purdy guy, we don't have very good luck against rookie quarterbacks. We always the backup quarterback we always have issues with. Maybe it's superstitious. We were just talking about that
Yes, we
the other
were.
day. But the thing
Mm.
is they got a little bit of tape on Purdy now, right?
Yes.
So, so now they get to prepare all week for Purdy. Well, and it's kind of a short week because we played Monday night. Um, I think it's not so much you're concerned about the quarterback. I think we're more concerned about the surrounding cast. And let's face it, you getting Mr. Carolina was one of the best things you guys could have done. I mean, he's a beast. He's always been a beast to play against at our house. Plus your defense. Oh my goodness. I mean, how many more stars do you need? You could tell John Lynch is your GM, that's for sure.
Yes, sir.
So and he knows you win championships by building great defenses. With us, we haven't really. How can I say we have not played a full 4 quarters of football yet this season. Period. End of story. We are still trying to find out
Don't
our
start this
identity.
Sunday, bro. Don't start this Sunday.
Well, I'm hoping we do. I mean, hey, I'd be happy if we get 3 quarters because what's crazy is you see what happens when we turn the coin with 4 minutes left.
Yeah,
And it's
I
like
saw that.
so
Yeah.
it's capable, but we're you got to remember that's a makeshift offensive line, and when I say makeshift, no way disrespect towards the players because every one of those guys have busted their tails. There's a kid named Brandon Walton that's playing backup and had a start this year. Believe it or not, one of those programs I do is nasty. The drugs are nasty program.
Oh, I
He
like that.
was he went to school. This is how long. This is when you know you're getting old, bro. He went to school with my daughter at Starkey Elementary, one of the first places I did that program at, and he was
Wow.
involved. His mother Dawn, we're close friends with the family, and how crazy of a small world is it? Here he's grown up, grown man, father himself, and here he's playing for my beloved Buccaneers. And here's a kid that that I got to touch, as far as the drugs are nasty program, giving out a great message. And look at him now, right? So
Wow,
all
that's
those
awesome.
players. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's more like it's evolution, right? It's all the
Yes.
blessings you get over the time that you've done it. But I think let's face it, guys. We got our work cut out for us. I mean, you guys, that defense is number one
Bosa,
defense in the
baby.
league. I mean, you held the Saints to zip, but well, The Saints ain't no pushover. They got a great defense. So,
Yeah, they
and
do.
I don't know what the score was. Was it
It was
13 nothing
13,
or something?
13-0. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they can play some D. So I'm just hoping that we show up. I think we get in over there Friday over there. Our Bucks do, which I'm glad we're getting there a day early because that adjustment, right? So, but I heard it's going to rain. Is that the case?
It kind of like 60% chance might rain. We'll see what happens. Just to let you know, too, you probably already know this, but our defense has only given up more than 20 points twice this season against Kansas City and Atlanta. Other than that, every team we face has been under 20 points from our defense. And this is
Well,
without Eric Armstead. He came back last week, and he's the anchor, the center of our D line. He's our D tackle that we've been missing, and we might get Javon Kinlaw back for you guys this week. So that middle is really going to anchor in good. And this is what we've been doing without our two main guys, our D tackles out, and then one of our corners, Emmanuel Mosley's out. So we've been running a second-year corner opposite of Shavarius Ward, which we picked up this year and has done really great for us. So, you may argue this because you have two great linebackers, but I think the Niners have the best trio of linebackers in the NFL with Fred Warner, Aziz, and Greenlaw. They have speed. They can run sideline to sideline. They can cover. The field. So it's going to be fun. I'm really hoping that Bosa kind of just smacks Brady around and kind of gets back there.
Don't tell me that. That's my biggest fear, and I'm a big Bosa fan. I watched his brother, and I watched him, and I'm like, that kid is just pure beast mode all the way. Hopefully we can slow you down some way or another. It doesn't look like we're going to have our starting right tackle back, Mr. Worf.
Worf is, yeah.
He's playing. Let me tell you right now, he's shutting down whoever's playing against him. That guy is absolutely. He's a freak in nature, man. You don't get those kind of tackles around very often. So, but it's going to be a game. It's going to be and if it's rainy, that might play in our hand because you don't want to hold on to the ball too long, obviously, or against you guys. So, but I just hope that we have a great game. Nobody gets hurt, and we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe
we're number one against the run. I don't know if you knew that.
You're number one against the run?
Yes, sir.
We were that last year, right?
Yes.
So and then we obviously lost a few players with Mr. Sue going. But the thing is, here's the difference. Every year there's a different team, right?
That's correct.
And you got to build that chemistry. And right now they just haven't synced the chemistry completely. But hey, remember the Super Bowl year, guys.
Yeah. I love Vita Vea. Vita Vea's a beast.
7-5, and then all of a sudden turned it around and
got
went on
hot.
that long run. And you can't say we didn't beat the best of the best on the road. I mean, that nobody would believe that schedule to win that Super Bowl, So taking in mind there was no fans in the stands either, except in Green Bay. But that I'm telling you, fans make a big difference in playoff games. You know that. But I hope everybody has a great game. We get your best, you get our best, and hopefully we get a great game and come down to the last minute, and I'll take another Tom Brady comeback win. I don't care. I'll take it. That'd be beautiful.
So as we close the show, give me your game prediction for Sunday.
Oh, okay. Here's my deal. Never give a game day prediction. You know why? Because every time I do, I get a jinx. So here's my game day prediction.
I love your superstitious.
No score. Yes, no score, but it's going to be a hell of a ball game. It ain't going to be a pushover either way. You're not going to get an unexpected game. The Bucks do play up to the caliber of the team they're playing, whether good or bad, unfortunately. As you can see, that's how our season has gone. So I'm looking forward to a good, hard-fought battle. Hey, maybe with Brady being in his hometown area, maybe it'll bring a good luck to us. By the way, a shout-out to the Buckaholics. They're having a huge Beta Bay tailgate out there. If you get out a chance to go out there and say hi to them guys, they're really great fans, man. They're not the fans that are idiots. They love all opposing fans coming to the tailgate and everything, but they got a real big one going on. And that's a neat thing. So hopefully we'll see a lot of Buck fans in the stands as well, because that always helps motivate the players.
That's awesome. Well, guys, don't go anywhere. Big Nasty, stay right there where you're at. Everyone, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for coming on. We came a little bit early. My brother is 3 hours ahead of us, so out of respect for him, and thank you once again, Big Nasty, for appearing on my podcast. I truly appreciate you. I watch you from afar. I admire you from afar, man. I have much love for you and what you do, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man, and enjoy your retirement and enjoy your Bucks, except this Sunday, of course. But from that point on, hey, knock it out of the ballpark. Everyone that tuned in, thank you again. I say this in every show. This show ain't nothing without you, the viewers, that support this podcast. I do this for you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up and showing out. Until next time, this is your boy Niner Sickness with another Niner Sickness podcast. Later, and God bless. Peace.